You know, there are shows we watch, and then there are the ones that live inside us. They don't just entertain, they shape us. They become part of our hearts. And for millions, Little House on the Prairie wasn't just a TV series. It was home. A place where values mattered more than money, where love was shown in quiet gestures, where hard work, kindness, and faith carried families through the darkest storms. And for those who were part of it, the cast, the crew, the writers, it wasn't just a job. It was a calling. One of them put it perfectly. It was a real privilege to be part of the Little House experience. How amazing to play characters based on real people and be part of Laura Ingalls Wilder's great legacy and Michael Landon's brilliantly realized vision. We will always be a family. Those words came from Lucy Lee Flippin, the actress who played Eliza Jane Wilder, Almanzo's sharp-tongued, no-nonsense older sister. To many, she was the annoying relative who showed up at just the wrong time. But behind her character's stern face was an actress who deeply understood what they were creating, and she didn't take it for granted. She called it a privilege. And when you hear that word, privilege, it makes you pause, because in Hollywood, people often say things like dream role or career highlight. But privilege? That's different. That carries weight. It means I knew how rare this was. I knew I was part of something bigger than me, and she was right. Because Little House wasn't just another show. It was built on two powerful foundations. First, Laura Ingalls Wilder's real life. This wasn't fiction pulled from thin air. These were names, places, moments, based on a woman who lived through blizzards, fires, poverty, and loss, and turned it all into stories that would inspire generations. And the actors weren't just playing roles. They were honoring history, walking in the footsteps of real people, carrying their names with care. Think about that. When Lucy played Eliza Jane, a real person, Almanzo's actual sister, she wasn't making her up. She was stepping into someone's life with all its flaws, quirks, and complexities, and she did it with respect, not just for the character, but for the legacy. And then there was the second foundation, Michael Landon's vision. Because yes, the books gave us the story. But Michael Landon gave us the heart. He didn't just star as Charles Ingalls. He directed, he produced, he wrote many of the most emotional episodes, and he fought for the show's soul. For years, networks wanted to make it faster, flashier, more dramatic. But Michael said, no, this is about family, about doing the right thing, even when no one sees. And he lived that. On set, in meetings, in every decision. And the cast felt it. They weren't just working. They were believing in the message, in the mission, in each other. And that's why Lucy said, we will always be a family. Not were, will always be. Because time doesn't break that kind of bond. Loss doesn't erase it. Even silence can't destroy it. Because what they built wasn't just a show. It was a life together. 9 seasons, thousands of hours, births, deaths, weddings, fires, blizzards, and through it all, laughter, friendship, love. Now let's talk about Lucy Lee Flippin herself. Because while Eliza Jane wasn't a central character, Lucy brought something special to the screen. Sharp, funny, always ready with a judgmental look, but never cruel. And over time, even Eliza Jane softened, learned, grew, and Lucy played that arc with subtlety and grace. But off-screen, she was warm, thoughtful, deeply aware of the show's impact. And after filming ended, she didn't chase fame. She stepped back, focused on teaching, on theater, on living quietly, and when fans reached out, she responded, not with ego, but with gratitude, because she never forgot. She was part of something rare, something sacred, and she honored it. Now, think about that word again. Family, because it wasn't just poetic, it was true. The cast didn't just call each other co-stars, they called each other brother, sister, mom, dad. Melissa Gilbert once said, I didn't have siblings, but I had a whole family on that set. Karen Grassel said, We weren't pretending to be a family. We became one. And Michael? He called Melissa, Papa's girl, not because it was cute, because it was real. He raised her, guided her, protected her. And when Victor French passed, away Michael stood at his funeral and said, "You were the best friend I ever had." And that wasn't acting, that was truth. And that's the legacy. Not just of the show, but of the people who made it. They didn't just play a family. They lived one through long days, cold weather, personal struggles, and still, they stayed close. They supported each other. They celebrated. They grieved. And even now, decades later, they reunite at events, in interviews, over dinner, still calling each other by name, still laughing, still remembering, because you don't leave a family. You carry it, and that's what Lucy meant. When she said, "We will always be a family," she wasn't being sentimental, she was stating a fact. And if you've ever watched Little House and felt comforted, welcomed, loved, then you're part of it too. Because the family didn't end with the cast, it grew, to include every viewer who found peace in the harmonica theme, who learned kindness from Caroline, strength from Charles, courage from Laura, and hope from every episode that said, "You can get through this." So the next time you see Eliza Jane walk into Walnut Grove with her suitcase and stern look, don't just see a guest character, see the woman behind her, the one who called it a privilege, who honored the real people, who believed in Michael's vision, and who knew, even then, that what they were building would last, not because of ratings, not because of fame, but because of love, real, quiet, enduring love. And that's the greatest legacy of all, because Little House didn't end, it just changed form. And as long as we remember it, as long as we pass it on, it will always be home, and we will always be family.